one wins the tip, and with that, we are off on this Thursday night women's hoop showcase on Big Ten Plus. Nolan into Kaiser. Back out to Leah Brown. Back into Williams. Michigan going high-low on this first possession. Leah Brown drives right, gets bumped. That foul will go on Lockett. That's her first.
And that's a quick foul on Lockett, the best scorer for the Rockets. Obviously, not a big deal early, but just something to keep an eye on.
Leah Brown getting the dribble handoff and hits the bunny.
Leah Brown so good at getting into that lane and converting around the cup.
Absolutely. Her short-range game is one of her best offensive attributes. Manny Nolan guarding on the perimeter. This is Kara Goss. Now into Cook. Stolen. Felia coming the other way. Goes to Nolan on the right side. Had Leah Brown streaking down the lane for a second, but Michigan pulls it back out. Cross-court pass. Nolan. Now Kaiser. Kaiser takes the long two. Off the back of the rim, and the Rockets coming the other way. This is Sophia Wired, the back-to-back MAC leader in assist-to-turnover ratio. As there's a turnover right there as McConowitz shuffled the puppies a little bit, called for the travel.
You just talked about Wired, one of the best point guards in the MAC, a true distributor, a true point guard for this squad.
And Toledo does not turn it over very much, under 12 turnovers per game.
And I think you can credit a lot of that to Wired.
Cameron Williams, fundamental footwork there, and Michigan increases their lead to 4.
Look for the Wolverines to continue to try to push it inside on the offensive end.
Nice backdoor cut there from Lockett, and Cook with the dime. Brown coming back the other way quickly. Straight back into Cameron Williams. And good hands there from Cook. And now going the other way are the Rockets. Goss with the left. All tied up at 4.
Rockets showing a lot of intensity on that defensive end and really not afraid to get out and run in transition, push the pace with this Wolverine team.
Kaiser with the height advantage. Goes out to Leah Brown, who spots up and in and out. Brutal for Brown. But now Toledo with a chance to take the lead. Baseline drive with the bump. No foul called, but that is a bucket by Sammy McConowitz.
Great job by McConowitz, absorbing the contact and still finishing around the rim.
Looks like a flop there from Jessica Cook, but Williams unable to finish. McConowitz, the second leading scorer on this team behind Lockett. Felia, and another travel called on Toledo. That's their third turnover of the game already.
2 quick travel calls from this officiating crew tonight, and that's something to keep an eye on. See if they're going to really dial in on those traveling calls for the rest of the game on both sides.
Felia hasn't gotten many touches thus far. Now goes right at the defender. No call was there. And Felia unable to convert, and now a deep ball attempt.
And Goss missed that one, but she loves to pull it from downtown. Probably the best shooter on this Toledo Rocket lineup.
Just under 40% from 3 is Goss. Nolan, one of Michigan's best shooters. Cameron Williams chooses to pull up from 12. Nolan with the offensive board and put back.
Excellent hustle from the senior guard, Maddie Nolan. Fights for the offensive board and finishes through contact to put it back up and in.
Yeah, Nolan, one of the better rebounding guards on this team. She gets 3.5 boards per game. But Michigan rebounds by committee as Leah Brown over with the help, but a tough finish there from Quenisha Lockett.
And expect to see a lot more of that tonight. Quenisha Lockett, one of the best scoring players in the MAC.
Miscommunication here. Toledo with a chance to get a nice, easy points off turnovers, and they convert. Toledo goes up 10-6, and their fans, who traveled 45 minutes up Route 23, our chip just a few weeks ago, where they won 3 games in succession, excuse me, to take home that trophy in Tampa, Florida, hosted by the USF Bulls.
And I'm sure that win over Baylor had to feel pretty good, avenging that loss from the Elite Eight last season.
Absolutely. That was a tough loss for Kim Barnes-Arico's squad, which got to the Elite Eight for the first time. As now Kyra Evans into the game for the Wolverines. And now into Kaiser, double-teamed. Goes cross-course to Nolan. Nolan with her first 3 attempt. Front rim and out. Felia trying to get the rebound, but out of bounds and over to the Rockets.
An interesting defensive scheme there for the Rockets. Hard double on Emily Kaiser, trying to force her to get the ball out and force Michigan shooters to make shots from the perimeter.
Wired going off the screen. Garcia into the game and pops the 3 and gets fouled by Evans. That'll be 3 free throws coming up for Garcia. Nan Garcia, a junior from Jeffersonville, Indiana, into the game for the Rockets. Not many attempts this season, but 5 of 6 from the line. Also, 38.5% from 3. So, a great stroke from the junior. Hits the first, and the Rockets are up 5.
That defense, I've been really impressed with the game plan from this Rockets team and head coach Trisha Coop. Forcing the Wolverines to be uncomfortable on the offensive side, not giving up anything easy so far, and then taking advantage in transition and really pushing the pace, trying to get out and run against this team.
And Garcia hits all 3, extending the Rockets' lead to 7. These teams have a good amount of history being regional rivals. Michigan holding the series, all-time series at 12-7. As now Nolan looking for Brown in the post. Can't get it to her. Now Kaiser at the top of the key.
Brown wanted that ball.
And a nice finish by Elise Stuck. Another large bench contributor for the Wolverines. And that stops the run for Toledo as Lockett throws up another shot. That comes off the rim. Michigan going back the other way. Long baseball pass up ahead. And Lockett got a hand in there to knock it loose from Felia. And the other way goes McConowitz and called for yet another travel.
McConowitz tried to get away with a hop step there. This officiating crew's been very stingy. Maddie Timon got her on the baseline there.
Into the game for the Wolverines, Greta Kampschrader, a transfer from Oregon State. And here is Stuck. Risky pass over to Kampschrader. Michigan trying to get some offensive rhythm that they haven't found so far. And a foul called on Goss there. And there you hear the Toledo faithful booing that call from the referees.
And Leah Brown, a very physical player. You've got to be physical back on the defensive side, and Goss just a little bit too physical there. Draws the whistle.
Just under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Toledo playing great defense thus far. But another foul called on the Rockets, and that is the third foul on the Rockets. So still 2 more to get into the bonus for the Wolverines.
And Toledo has 2 defenders down there with Emily Kaiser on that when the Wolverines are trying to pass it in. They do not want Kaiser to burn them.
Leah Brown with the head fake, now long range 2. Not there, and Stuck a little too excited to get that rebound and commits the foul.
Wolverines just not in a great rhythm offensively. This defense from Toledo's been excellent so far.
Wired calling out the plays for this Rockets squad. As we mentioned, such a veteran presence on this team. As that baseline pass now over to Wired for three, and that is good.
And the Wolverines rotated really well there until just the very end. Kaiser just a step late getting out on Sophia Wired, and the senior makes them pay.
Now Kaiser attacking the smaller Makonowitz, but unable to get it to go with the left. Now Makonowitz the other way, left corner, and Kaiser with the rebound.
Makonowitz not afraid to shoot it. She's been efficient from beyond the arc this season.
And another short-range jump shot, rimming and out for the Wolverines. 16-8, the Toledo lead. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Garcia fakes the long two, dribble handoff, something that this Rockets team loves to do. Wired from the other side and hits it. An 11-point lead for the Rockets inside Chrysler Center.
Cam Williams and Maddie Nolan at the scorer's table to check in. KBA wants to.
Good pass there, but Kaiser unable to finish yet again. Stays here with the Wolverines.
Kim Barnes-Arico looking to get some continuity back in there, putting our starters back in.
Michigan 0 points in the last 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Getting a lot of quality shots, some contested, but just not able to convert near the basket.
There's been a number of shots the Wolverines have converted this season efficiently around the rim that they just haven't been able to today.
Good inbounds play, and Filia breaks the ice. Filia's first points of the night. Into the game is Jada Jansen, number 12 for the Rockets, as this is Garcia that pops the long two. Too short.
I'm looking for Layla Filia to take over here and really will this offense.
Filia with the pass to Camp Schrader and sinks the three. 5-0 run for the Wolverines and a quick timeout by the Rockets.
To come down hard on the post with doubles consistently, because the Wolverines do have the shooters to make you pay from the outside.
Absolutely. A game of runs so far here in the first quarter. Toledo opening up an 11-point lead. As we said earlier, they have a 13-game road winning streak on the line, and the Wolverines a 21-game home winning streak on the line. Stuck closes out on Garcia. Doesn't matter. Garcia hits the three. She is up to 6 points, the leading scorer in the game so far. Filia, long two, way off. And back the other way come the Rockets. Minute 10 seconds left. Wide open three here in transition. Unable to get it to go was Goss, and Filia calming this Michigan offense down. Cam Schrader, who previously hit the big three for the Wolverines.
Get Layla Filia the ball and get her to the cup.
Off the screen from Williams. Filia's long two is no good, and Stuck, another foul committed 90 feet from the basket. Coach KB is not going to be happy about that.
No, and you see Jordan Hobbs checking in now. That's 2 quick fouls on Stuck. She's going to have to ride Pine for a little bit.
Looks like Jordan Hobbs will check into the game for the first time, and Kaiser returns. Hobbs, one of the better three-point shooters for this Michigan squad.
She was out early today pregame, getting shots up, getting loose, knocking down a lot of shots from beyond the arc.
And with Nolan, Camp Schrader, and Hobbs, a good three-point lineup for Coach KBA. Hobbs thought about the double, instead goes back. Cameron Williams with the defense. That is off from Jessica Cook. And Michigan down 9. They can choose to hold it for 1.
I'd look for another post touch here. Wolverines haven't got any shots around the basket. They seem to be settling for outside shots. I think they'd like to end the quarter here with a
Camp Schrader calling for what she wants. Hobbs now on the left side, goes behind the back, off her own foot. Diving play, now over to Camp Schrader. Did she get it off? Doesn't matter. Michigan struggling on the offensive end, only scoring 13 points in that first quarter. Toledo, give them credit. The Rockets hold a 9-point lead here at Chrysler Center. As we take a look here, BigTenNetwork.com/StudentU. That's BigTenNetwork.com/StudentU. Toledo will start with the ball in this second quarter. Sophia Wired, a veteran presence for Toledo. Lockett, the leading scorer for this team each of the last 3 seasons. But a turnover from Toledo. Michigan trying to cut into this deficit.
And Lockett has shot 50 more shots than the next closest person on this team. She is the engine, the heart and soul of that offense.
Absolutely. Last year, she broke the school record in field goals attempted. Not afraid to shoot it, and that's what Coach Cullup needs of her, and it's worked so far this game. Quick foul called on the Rockets as Jessica Cook is called for the foul. She subs out for Garcia, who provided 6 points for the Rockets in that first quarter. Hobbs into Kaiser. One of Kaiser's many touches, but unable to get it to go so far. And Williams, another close shot missed. Now double teamed, gets it up, and another miss. Michigan having the ball around the basket, but unable to put it through the hoop. As Wired all the way, and a foul called. Wired will shoot 2.
And I've been really impressed with Sophia Wired so far tonight. She's had great pace, great control of this game and this offense for Toledo. Playing at her own pace and really been doing a great job of getting whatever she wants on the offensive end.
Wired, a great free throw shooter, 82% on the season.
And that's what you expect from your senior point guard.
As we know, Wired is not only a passer, but a scorer as well. And back in 2020, tied the school record with 42 points against Northern Illinois. Fila going left, hangs, and hits the tough shot. Michigan couldn't get any of the easy ones to go, but got that one to go as a turnover here from Wired. Uncharacteristic. Hobbs all the way with the left. 4 quick points for the Wolverines. Lead is back down to 7.
And those were 2 big buckets there for Michigan. Could be a turning point in this game if the Wolverines can keep this defensive intensity up. And I love this Filia on Lockett matchup.
Michigan has forced the turnovers thus far. They've forced 6 turnovers. Garcia's shot is blocked by Williams, and Michigan with a chance to cut into the lead even further. Cameron Williams down low, fakes right, goes left, and unable to get it to go yet again. Williams having a tough time getting it to go close to the hoop. As that foul is called on Kaiser, Michigan committing a lot of fouls trying to get offensive rebounds, but that could be just out of frustration as they've missed a lot of close shots.
And Alyssa Crockett's going to check in for Cameron Williams. KBA wants someone that can finish inside.
Crockett, who does not get much playing time for this Wolverine squad, seeing if she can offer a lift. As Wired, another 3. It's good. That's 3 threes for Sophia Wired, and she is up to 11 points here in this first half.
She's feeling it. As soon as she let that fly, she knew that was going in and started walking back. She is red hot.
Only averaging 8.4 points per game thus far this season. But as we know, that scoring potential is there. Another foul called on Toledo. That's McConowitz picking up her first.
That's been a couple of fouls that Toledo's picked up, trying to prevent the Wolverines from getting position inside.
Long 5 seconds there as Crockett pops the 3, and that's an air ball for the Wolverines. A 10-point lead for the Rockets, 7:34 left in the second quarter.
Again, Michigan's offense just doesn't seem to have any rhythm or consistency right now. Someone's got to step in, settle it down, and get a good shot.
And once one of those shots falling, we know shooting is contagious. So expect more to fall.
On the other end, Wired's just been so great at controlling the offense for Toledo.
Wired inside. Quick move there. Now Garcia in the corner. Felia's closeout affects the shot enough. And a block there.
And it didn't pay off, but that was an excellent pass from Goss into the corner. Great vision.
No foul called on Leah Brown as Lockett picks her pocket and goes coast to coast. 12-point lead for Toledo.
Toledo's continuing to push the pace and make the Wolverines get out and run with them, and they're having a field day.
Crockett providing the screen for Brown, who goes into Kaiser. Kaiser goes right, now left, and finishes. And one. Big bucket there for Emily Kaiser as she gets on the board. Her first make of this game. Brings the Michigan deficit down to 10. 6:32 left in the second quarter. Kaiser, the leading scorer for the Wolverines at 19.9 points per game.
And Kaiser has attempted 54 free throws on the season, been excellent at getting to the line.
A great free throw shooter indeed. Kaiser hits that. Shooting 93% from the line as Toledo turns it over yet again. That's their 7th turnover of the game. They only average 11 turnovers on the season.
And we've talked about Toledo harassing the Wolverines. Michigan doing the same, forcing Toledo to be uncomfortable on that offensive side. They just haven't been able to convert those turnovers into baskets.
Absolutely. 7 turnovers, only 4 points off the turnovers for the Wolverines. Wolverines average 26 points off turnovers per game. They're well short of that right now. Leah Brown from the left side. Contested jump shot is good. That's a 5-0-1 for the Wolverines as the lead is down to 7.
That's that offensive creativity from Leah Brown. So tough to stop.
We'll see if Wired can keep knocking down shots. This Michigan defense ratcheting it up a notch. As this pass into Garcia and a foul called on Evans, holding her on the backside.
And Evans didn't need to grab there. She had the defensive rotation from Layla Felia coming down to help on the weak side, but unfortunately called for the foul for Michigan.
Wired now over to Garcia. 2 leading scorers for Toledo thus far this game. Garcia into the double team, finishes with the left. Delicate touch from number 1. Now Kaiser with it again. Spins left and is fouled. That's Lanesia Brewer, the junior from Akron, Ohio, picking up her second foul.
And I'd expect to see more of Emily Kaiser at that charity stripe tonight. This won't be the last time she's there.
Also gives her a chance for a breather as Michigan will need a lot of her going down the stretch to get back into this game.
And Toledo doesn't necessarily have the size on the interior to match up with Kaiser one-on-one. So it's going to take a lot of doubles and physical defense to try to keep her off of her spots, and that's going to lead to a lot of fouls.
Kaiser hits both. 3 of 3 from the line so far. Lead back down to 7. 5:12 left in the second quarter. Nolan, good denial D on Goss. Felia. Kaiser with the hedge. Good rotation here from Stuck. And the baseline drive. Unable to get it to go, but back up and in from Lanesia Brewer.
Toledo cleared out the paint, and that meant there was no Wolverines in there to get the defensive rebound.
As Felia's aggressiveness draws a foul, and she'll go to the line for 2. Michigan starting to up that aggressiveness, getting to the line more.
Yeah, and I think we saw them settling a lot early in this game for pull-up mid-range shots, which is something that Toledo likes to give their opponents, is long twos. And the Wolverines tried to exploit that. Wasn't really paying off.
The year awards coming in 2009, 11, 13, and last year in 2022. But their goal is to get back to the NCAA tournament, which they haven't been to since 2017 when they won the MAC tournament and lost to Creighton in the first round. That year they had a 25-9 record. As we're back here, Layla Filia back rims the first free throw. Uncharacteristic from Filia, who shoots 76% from the line as she misses both. And Wired coming back the other way.
And with no Lockett on the floor, someone else is going to have to step up and create for the Rockets.
And a turnover from Wired as Filia's pressure defense forces Wired to step on the line.
And this is the time for Michigan to go on a run. I know you just missed those 2 free throws there, but no Lockett on the floor. Got to take advantage of that.
Michigan with 4 of their 5 starters in. Camp Schrader in for Nolan. As Filia gets the screen from Kaiser. Filia pops the 3 way long. Camp Schrader tries to get the rebound. Knocks it off Wired, and it will stay Wolverine ball.
Great hustle there from Camp Schrader to keep a possession alive.
Waiting for Kaiser to tie her shoes.
Michigan's going to definitely try to get something coming down the lane. But Toledo's been excellent at denying that so far.
Good inbounds play from the Wolverines. Brown unable to hit that. Tries to get the board. Scrum here. And Williams gets tied up with Garcia.
And that was the same play they ran earlier on that inbounds from the baseline to Layla Filia, who knocked down the shot. Works again. Leah Brown just can't quite hit it.
Leah Brown looks like she comes up hobbling a little bit, but one of the toughest players in the business, as we know.
No doubt about that.
Brown comes off the screen on the other side, fighting through the contact of Goss. Goss pokes it away, and Brown readjusting her knee brace. You know, she had an injury last year that caused her to miss a significant amount of time.
Yeah, back just in time for that NCAA tournament run. Made a big impact in the round of 32 game at home against Villanova off the bench.
Michigan again with it, 15 on the shot clock, just under 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Pace has slowed down a little bit, possibly in Michigan's favor as Toledo was on a rampant pace. Kaiser, nice footwork, right hook for 2.
And Emily Kaiser showing why she's been on such a tear over the last few weeks.
Just like that, Kaiser into the lead in the points category for the Wolverines, 7 points. Kaiser with a switch on Wired. We'll see if Wired takes advantage of this mismatch. Good defense there from Kaiser. Falls back. Williams with the help. Now Wired pops it. Short. Thought she got fouled by Brown. Toledo with the offensive rebound. Good block from the backside by Filia. And Michigan gets the steal.
Excellent team defense there from the Wolverines. And like you said, we've really seen them slow this game down. Play at their own pace.
Filia into Williams. Williams is fouled there. And Michigan is in the bonus, so Williams will go to the line for 2.
Excellent backside help there by Toledo, but Cameron Williams just too big, too strong, and they're forced to foul. Cameron Williams has had some struggles with the line this year, but overall this Wolverines team has been excellent, shooting at about an 82% clip from the stripe.
Williams calmly knocks down the first as Justina King goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Senior from Scarborough, Ontario. Not the only international player on this Toledo Rockets squad, as Ella Doherty from Scotland, as we won't see her tonight in action, but another international player.
And I love the aggressiveness from Leah Brown there, fighting hard through that dribble handoff, which is something that Toledo likes to do a lot of. to try to disrupt that. That's definitely something that Kim Barnes-Arico harped on in practice.
Fourth foul on Michigan. The Rockets will be in the bonus on the next foul. Fake there, got Brown in the air, and a calm finish by Jada Jansen, the senior from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Felia denies the screen. Short on the jump shot, but Williams with the rebound. And another foul called. That'll be on Goss, it looks like. So that'll be her second.
And that's why you have Cameron Williams in the game. Excellent rebounder, especially on the offensive end. And with Toledo not having anyone that can quite match up with her size on the floor, they're forced to foul more often than not.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, Williams is offensive rebounding prowess. 3 rebounds tonight, all on the offensive end. Williams previously hit both of her free throws, misses the first of 2 here. As Michigan still struggling from the field, they're just shooting 35%. They're 11 of 31 from the field and only 1 of 6 from 3. Yet they're only down 6 as Williams hits the second of 2.
And they've managed to stop the bleeding by upping that intensity on the defensive end.
Garcia straight away, nothing but net. Garcia's second 3 of the night puts the Rockets back up by 9.
Just a late closeout by Williams there. And Garcia's been letting it fly all night tonight, and she continues.
Yeah, tough to guard a player like that can do it both inside and out. Good move by Felia. Again, Cameron Williams trying to get an offensive board, but not that time. Lockett weaving her way. Good hands there from Leah Brown. And Felia gets the loose ball. Now Michigan coming the other way. Brown settles it in. Kaiser into the post. With the left, off glass. That's good. Kaiser up to 9 points on the game.
And Toledo brought 3 defenders into the area, but none of the other 2 committed hard enough to bring a true double. And that's what you need to stop Emily Kaiser right now, because she has been so dominant.
This last minute crucial to see who will get momentum going into half. As Lockett, aggressive, gets fouled and will shoot 2.
And the way Lockett plays is just so controlled. On that last fast break down the floor, she did an excellent job of keeping her opponent, a defender, turned. That time getting into the lane and drawing contact. You can see why she's one of the best scorers in the MAC.
Rolls in the first, Lockett up to 7 points. The threesome of Garcia, Wired, and Lockett combining for 29 of Toledo's 39 points so far. As now Lockett is up to 8 points on the day. Toledo hits the 40-point mark here in the first half. Well above their average of 73 points per game. Michigan under their average at 78 per game. As Brown gets bumped, fade away, unable to go. And Toledo bringing it up now.
And again, these are tough shots for Michigan. Not a shot that Leah Brown can't hit, but just in general an inefficient and tough shot to make.
Wired fakes the 3, got Felia in the air. Now back to Garcia at the top of the key yet again. Front rim, offensive rebound, blocked there from Kaiser. Kaiser going the other way. Michigan can hold for 1. Kim Barnes-Arico yelling 1, and Michigan turns it over, and Kim Barnes-Arico is incensed as the entire Michigan bench was yelling to the players on the floor to hold for 1 shot.
That, and I don't believe that was off of a Michigan player. I believe that was tipped by one of the Rockets, and Cameron Williams could have just let that go.
As now Toledo can hold for 1 shot. 15 seconds left. Wired, guarded by Nolan.
Expect Lockett to get the ball here.
Lockett goes left all the way and doesn't turn it over. Wired saves it. Driving on Nolan all the way to the hoop and hits. Sophia Wired with 13 points here in this first half and puts an emphasis on a first half from Toledo. They go into halftime up 11 on the Michigan Wolverines. We'll see you back in a few moments. For all Big Ten Plus has to offer on the app or at big10plus.com. As we kick off this second half, Toledo with the ball, holding an 11-point lead. Wired, their leading scorer in the first half, with 13 on 4 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3 as Lockett pops this one in. And that ball gets stuck behind the basket.
Uh-oh.
To the delight of much of the crowd, as this is always a fun one when this happens.
Where's Boban Marjanovic?
Looks like we are trying to get it with the mop, and we do. Applause from the crowd as 18 seconds into this one, an unexpected stoppage. If that three had went for Lockett, that would have been a huge boost for Toledo to start the scoring off strong, but instead Michigan with a chance to break the ice first.
I'd expect a good shot for Michigan to open up the half here. Likely a post-up touch for Kaiser.
Here's a screen from Kaiser. Brown trying to get it into Kaiser. Now does. Right hand. And unable to get that. Good defense there from Goss. As now Wired coming up. Steps back. Thought about the three. Good defense from Leah Brown. Lockett keeps her balance. Now into Cook. Runner. And board by Felia.
Michigan's been able to turn up the defensive intensity. It's just been on the offensive end. They've been really struggling.
Left elbow, unable to get that to go is Leah Brown, and she shakes her head. 0 for 2 on either side. As crowd waiting to erupt, either the visitors or the home crowd. Nolan with good help defense. Now Kaiser rotates over, gets drive by, and a great drive there by Sammy McConowitz as Toledo gets on the board first.
McConowitz put up a nice head fake there. Have to respect the 44% three-point shooter and drives right to the cup. Nice finish.
I believe we have our largest lead of the game at 13. As Kaiser gets free and Brown with a nice floated pass. And Kaiser into double figures. 11 points, first Wolverine to surpass the double figure point, and miscommunication there. Lockett trying to cut back door, but Goss expecting her to flare out. And Michigan with the ball.
And Leah Brown's really excelled in this point guard role for the Wolverines. Amy Dilt gone, the Wolverines starting point guard. So now the question was, who's going to run the show for Michigan, and Leah Brown stepped up into a distributor role nicely.
Foul called here on Sammy McConowitz, and that's McConowitz's third. So she'll have to come out of the game.
And that's a big third foul. Second leading scorer. And their leading rebounder as well. Also a versatile defender. So that's a big loss for Co-op and her staff.
Brown, tough shot on the right side, and that bounces out. But good offensive rebounding presence by Kaiser. Draws a foul, and ball will stay here. Boos from the traveling Rocket faithful. And that's the second foul in as many minutes for Toledo. Nan Garcia comes back in. Garcia had 11 points in that first half as Brown with the step through. Another tough shot, not there. Felia and Kaiser both going for the board. And Felia's pass taken away by Lockett. Great active hands from Lockett as she now drives baseline. Thought she got bumped by Felia, but instead forced out of bounds.
That's tough defense from Layla Felia. Turns it over on the other end and just digs out a defensive stop on the other.
Leah Brown loses the ball for a second, but regathers. Both teams struggling to find their offensive rhythm thus far in the second half. As Evans into the game. Brown another shot. And Wired called for the foul as Brown was trying to step over and get that offensive rebound, and that's the third foul already on the Rockets.
And somebody's got to get going for Michigan. Right now, Leah Brown's trying to get something cooking. Hasn't been successful yet. Wolverines have had some success on these inbound plays from the baseline, though.
2 of 10 from the field for Leah Brown. Likewise, Felia, 2 of 9. Those are 2 of their top 3 scorers. As Kaiser misses, gets her own board, puts it back up, and misses yet again. It has just been attempt after attempt within 6 feet of the basket that Michigan has been unable to convert.
This is very uncharacteristic for this Michigan team that's typically pretty efficient.
Evans goes cross and reverses good. Another point off the inbounds play from the Wolverines, and the lead is down to 9.
It's all about getting continued stops. They've been playing well on the defensive side. Just got to string a few more together and get that offensive consistency.
Great off-ball movement there from Toledo that point, but Lockett unable to get that 2 to go. Michigan with a chance to further cut into this lead. Felia thought about the 3, goes baseline, now finds Brown. Into Evans, deep positioning, but Garcia with aggressive hands as Evans commits the foul. Frustration foul there from Evans, who had great positioning, and Leah Brown got it to her, but Garcia just snuck her hands in there and tied it up.
Yeah, I mean, we've been harping on it all game. Toledo's done an awesome job inside of forcing Michigan to be uncomfortable. You would think Michigan would have a significant advantage, but Toledo's done an awesome job of limiting the Wolverines' success in the paint.
Lockett. Now Kaiser with the hedge. Michigan trying to recover. Leaves Garcia open, but Nolan from the backside knocks it away.
And we've talked a lot about the Wolverines' offensive struggles in this second half, especially in so far this game. Toledo has gone stone cold. They haven't scored in 2 minutes and 35 seconds and have 3 turnovers in that span.
Yeah, Toledo already over their season average in turnovers with 13 so far. Michigan has started to convert on some of those as they have 12 points off turnovers, but well short of their season average at 26. Michigan as well doubling up Toledo on the offensive glass, but again, not been able to convert those close shots. Wired gets past Brown. Now Garcia on the right wing at the horn, unable to go. Evans looking down low for Kaiser, and another foul called on Toledo. That's their 4th so far of the quarter.
And these fouls are going to start to show, and they're going to add up quickly now, especially on these interior defenders for Toledo. That could be a big thing in the late game.
Michigan will be in the bonus with the next foul. Kaiser loses that one. Great pass up ahead from Wired. And Lockett beat 3 Michigan defenders down the court.
Talk about dropping a dime. That was a football pass into double coverage down the field.
That's Wired's first assist of the night. Something you rarely say this far into the game. Felia picked up her dribble. Now Kaiser deflected, but into Evans, goes to her left, loses it, and tied up there. And Garcia again, aggressive hands, been great down low.
And if this was a radio broadcast and you couldn't see on the screen, you would have no idea we're playing in the Chrysler Center right now. This Toledo fan base has traveled extremely well. That's something we talked about before.
Scoring is even so far in the third quarter, 4-4 as we take a look at what's happened thus far.
Well, the Wolverines have just been extremely inefficient, and that's really all there is to it. They have not shot the ball well today, and I think Kim Barnes-Rico and this team would agree. There's still plenty of time left to turn things around, but that's what's got to happen. They've got to flat out make shots.
Filia inbounds pass, fought for the board. Filia gets it back, sidestep, and lays it in. Finally, a bucket goes for Layla Filia, as that is her third bucket of the night. She's now 3 of 11 from the field, 6 points.
Cold shooting from your stars. Filia and Kaiser hasn't been as efficient as usual. Leah Brown struggling from the floor. That's obviously going to lead to some woeful offensive numbers, but someone else has to step up.
Camp Schrader been valuable off the bench for the Wolverines. As Nolan rotates yet again. Nolan with those great backside rotations this game.
This whole Michigan team has really turned up the energy defensively after about those first 5 minutes when they kind of got punched in the mouth. They've really ratcheted it up on the defensive side.
There was just 1.9 seconds on the shot clock there, as that will go back over to the Wolverines. Down 9. They've cut into the deficit since half by 2. Kim Barnes-Rico is definitely thinking that they need to get a little deeper into this deficit to have a chance in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Toledo scored 4 points this half, and we're 6 minutes into the third quarter here. And the Wolverines have only dug in by 2 points.
Tough miss there. Filia thought she had a wide open layup. Got her rebound back and got fouled, so she'll shoot 2. Certainly wanted to convert that one. Filia back to the line. 0 of 2 from the line tonight.
And getting to the free throw line is a good way to kind of kickstart an offense.
Calmly hits the first. Michigan back within 8. 4 minutes, 2 seconds left. 4 minutes, 1 second left in the third quarter. As Filia hits both. And now the Chrysler faithful getting into it a little bit.
This crowd's got to get active and make some noise for their team. Give them an energetic boost.
So Camp Schrader, Filia, Evans, Kaiser, and Nolan on the floor for the Wolverines. Wired, Garcia, Goss, McConowitz, and Lockett on the floor for the Rockets, and another turnover. That's the 15th of the game for Toledo.
Uncharacteristic for the Rockets, but that's a credit to Michigan's defense so far tonight.
Yeah, impressive how Toledo has this lead with so many turnovers, especially from Wired, who has 1 assist and 3 turnovers. Uncharacteristic of her as Camp Schrader hits the 3 for the Wolverines. The lead is down to 4.
And that's that injection of life that you needed if you're Michigan. Camp Schrader comes off the bench and knocks down a big-time 3.
Camp Schrader now up to 10 threes on the year, as Evans, a little too overzealous on that hedge, commits the foul.
And Wired really sold that. I mean, there was definitely contact there, but Wired hit the deck hard.
And that's Evans' 4th foul, so she will be on the bench for a little bit, but has provided good minutes off the bench for the Wolverines and Coach KBA. Miscommunication here, but good help from Kaiser as Lockett is left open for 3. Garcia tried to save it. Now Michigan with numbers, and Camp Schrader completely forgot about Garcia. 4-3 and hits it.
A little Jose Alvarado action there.
Camp Schrader just unaware that Garcia was still behind her.
And somebody on the bench, the rest of the team has to be shouting that out.
Nolan unable to get that 3 to go. She's been quiet tonight. As we said, one of the Wolverines' best shooters, had an incredible year last year, shooting over 40% from 3, but has really struggled getting her shots up this year.
Yeah, and she's only attempted 2 shots tonight from beyond the arc, which is kind of surprising. She had that putback on the offensive rebound early, but other than that, Quiet offensive showing.
Felia all the way to the basket, but unable to get it to go. Looks like she is grabbing her calf. Might have been cramping, but still hustles back down as Wired is fouled by Camp Schrader.
A nice move there by Wired, going in to Camp Schrader there, looking to initiate the contact and draw the foul.
So that's the third team foul on the Wolverines. Wolverines were really good getting it down low aggressively, drawing fouls from the Rockets early in this quarter, but since haven't been able to continue drawing those fouls and haven't been able to get to the line too much as Wired knocks down the first, and the lead is up to 8.
And I'd like to see Camp Schrader get some more touches here on the offensive side. Just hit that three, see if you can keep a good thing going. The only one that's been able to knock down the long ball for Michigan tonight.
Elise Stuck gets it to Felia. Felia drives to the left. Camp Schrader now thinking about the three. Goes baseline. Good defense from Wired. Felia, soft touch, bounces it in, and Felia, grateful that one dropped home.
And just kind of stagnant offense there for Michigan. I know they got the bucket, but just driving it in, passing it back out repeatedly. Not a lot of great motion.
Felia loses Lockett there for a second. As an offensive foul is called on Garcia, and looks like Kaiser took a shot to the head there. Don't know if that was a body part from Garcia that got Kaiser, or if she just had it impacted with the floor as she comes up a little gingerly.
And the officials going to come over and discuss here potentially a flagrant foul maybe.
It looks like they're talking about it as Michigan will go to the bench. Looks like Kaiser will take a seat on the bench for Williams when we come back, as the officials do go over to the monitor.
Game of her season so far, but been leading the way for Michigan.
Yeah, we'll see if she can knock off that hit she took to her head and get back in this one. As Camp Schrader now with it on the left wing. Stuck, trying to get it down low to Williams. Williams quickly to her right shoulder. And it looks like we have a stoppage here. So that bucket will count for Williams, but a delay of game possibly called on Leah Brown after that.
I think they're going to get her for a personal for crashing in hard for that offensive rebound.
So lead down to 5. Lockett goes all the way, too hard off the glass, but another offensive board.
Great
6th
help
of the game for the Rockets. And Cameron Williams a little too aggressive on that hedge as Wired absorbs the contact and draws the foul. Michigan been called on a foul on those hedges quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, Cam Williams just coming out a bit too aggressively there, but that's what this coaching staff wants. That's their kind of plan on these screens, is to come out aggressively and keep Wired out of the lane.
Wired keeping her balance there, but pass deflected and now Stuck with the board. And a timeout will be called by Coach KBA as Stuck was stuck with the ball in the double team. Another turnover from Wired, though. That's her 4th of the game. Very uncharacteristic herself. So definitely been a big lift for the Wolverines as Kaiser does check back in, as we see the starting lineup minus Cameron Williams. Elise Stuck in for the Wolverines. As 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Layla Felia picks up her dribble. Now Brown goes to her right. Tough pass there from Nolan. She's fading away, and that is short. And now Lockett coming the other way with a head of steam into the corner. And now Jansen, long 2 is good. Lead back up to 7. Clock's ticking, 6 seconds left for Leah Brown. She looks at the clock, pulls up from deep, way off, and the horn sounds. Michigan cuts into the lead by 4, down 7, heading into the 4th. We'll be right back on Big Ten Plus from Chrysler.
Big Ten hoops in general women's hoops has been on fire to start this season. Ohio State's been off to a hot start. Indiana as well. But for either team to win this game, I think it's going to be who has more consistency on the offensive end. I think that's going to be who wins this game.
Absolutely. Both teams been inconsistent this second half. Michigan still just shooting 35% from the field. Arguably lucky to be within 7 as a foul is called here on. That'll be on Kaiser, it looks like. So that is Kaiser's second of the game. As we clean off the court a little bit, Kim Barnes-Arico not happy with that call. Maggie Teenan not. As an offensive rebound again for the Rockets. They've gotten a few of those in the last few minutes. Backdoor cut. Felia defends it. And now Michigan coming the other way, trying to cut this lead even further.
And I'd go at McConowitz here. She's got 3 fouls. Try to get that 4th foul on her and really make her have to either take a seat on the bench or play conservative defense the rest of this game.
As Michigan goes down low. Now Leah Brown for 3. And that rolls around and out. Looks like the ball will go back to the Rockets. Leah Brown can't believe that one didn't fall, as she's had a couple that have gone halfway down and out.
Just not the most efficient night from the field for Leah Brown. She's somebody that really thrives, and when she's hot, and in that kind of mid-range area, and takes a lot of tough shots, but this is the downside to that.
Konowitz from the right side hits the 3. That's her first of the game. We know she's a good shooter, and she displays it right there as Toledo back up by 10. Michigan needing something and needing it quick.
Who's going to step up on the offensive end for Michigan?
Leah Brown thought she was fouled there. Felia spinning her way around the free throw line as Leah Brown goes hard there and is fouled. Looks like that will be on Lockett.
And while much of it has been Michigan missing some shots that they typically make, let's not take anything away from Toledo's defense so far tonight, because their defense has been stifling, especially in the lane. They've done a great job of bringing multiple bodies to whoever has the ball in the lane for Michigan. And the Wolverines haven't really adjusted. They haven't really adjusted to taking more and trying to make more outside shots. 10 attempted threes, but they're still only shooting 20% from beyond the arc too. So it's been a great defensive showing so far for this Toledo roster.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. Cameron Williams, one of the highest field goal percentage players on this team, just 2 of 7 tonight. Same story can be said of Leah Brown and Emily Kaiser. Both make their money around the basket, but Toledo really been challenging those close-in shots. High-low here as Cook gets an easy layup.
And that's gorgeous ball movement. That is beautiful basketball from Toledo.
And just like that, back up by 10, 8 minutes left. Felia loses it for a second.
And for Michigan, it just seems like the ball's sticking, and it's a lot of iso ball and two-man game.
This is an aggressive move by Kaiser, and she gets the and one. Beautiful hook with the left. Michigan with a chance to cut the lead to 7. As Kaiser has been a bright spot despite her slow start for the Wolverines. She's now 5 of 11 from the field, up to 13 points and 7 rebounds to go along with it.
And you see Garcia checking in, likely a result of that Kaiser and one there. Want to get a big body inside that can try to defend Kaiser better down low.
Kaiser misses this one. That's her first miss of the night. 3 of 4 from the line now, as Camp Schrader comes back in for the Wolverines. Evans also in the game for the Wolverines. She's had 4 fouls. Good hedge there from Evans. Rotations for the Wolverines. Now Felia settles in on Lockett. Garcia, 2 seconds left, into McConowitz, and her shot is off.
And Lockett's just so smooth with the ball. Didn't get a shot there, but just the way she moves is so fluid.
Michigan attacking this matchup with Emily Kaiser, and that will be a blocking foul.
And that's the 4th now on McConowitz. That's a big 4th foul with 7:05 to go. That's been the primary defender on Kaiser most of the night.
Yeah, Toledo really trying to draw these charges. They've had a few where their players have, for lack of a better word, embellished a little bit on these to try to get a charge call, but referees not giving McConowitz the call there, as Kaiser will go to the line. It's the first, lead back down 2-7. Kaiser hits both.
And this could be a big turning point here.
Huge possession here for the Rockets, as both faithfuls standing up now. Wired being guarded by Camp Schrader. Now Felia on Lockett. This has been a great matchup all night, as Lockett banks it in from straight on for 2.
And that's a great player making a tough shot. Good defense from Layla Felia. Just nothing you can do about it. Better offense.
As Michigan has had success going down low to Kaiser, she now finds herself on the wing. Camp Schrader down low. Felia goes off the screen. Michigan looking for a post touch. Here's Evans going at the smaller matchup and gets it to go. Evans attacking Kara Goss with that one.
And for Toledo, your senior point guard Wired here needs to control the offense and make sure you get a good shot.
Wired pulls up for 2. That's short. And Kaiser with the rebound. Long pass up ahead. Felia with the right. And 1. Layla Felia. And she'll go to the line with a chance to make this a 1-possession game. Excellent aggressive pass there by the Wolverines.
And poor shot selection from Sophia Wire. That was a tough shot. Wolverines then to take advantage, get out in transition. Excellent job by Layla Felia to run the rails on the outside and converts the and one.
Another big storyline. Quenisha Lockett picks up her 4th, so she'll go to the bench as well. 2 of the leading scorers for the Rockets on the bench in these crucial moments because of foul trouble. As Maddie Nolan loses her matchup and Goss punishes her. Lead back up to 5.
And that's one of the advantages of playing Kim Barnes-Orico's style of basketball, that interior punishing, attacking style, is that it can put the opposing team in foul trouble. And now they're in a situation like this with 2 of their best players sitting on the bench.
Off-ball movement from the Wolverines. No one gets open. Now Felia down low. Goes to her right. And gets fouled. Looks like Goss will pick up her 3rd foul, as Michigan has been aggressive getting it into the paint. As that's the 5th foul in just under 5 minutes on the Rockets, and we've seen their players in foul trouble. It'll be interesting to see when Coach Collop brings Lockett and McConowitz back into the game, but Felia knocks down the 1st.
Michigan in the bonus now, so free throw making is going to be hugely important down the stretch for this team. Obviously, when you're trying to come back, got to make your free throws.
And after Felia's slow start, she has now tied Kaiser with the team lead, both of them with 15 points. 62-59. As this is probably the loudest we've heard Chrysler Center tonight so far.
And I think another defensive stop will blow the top off this place.
Jansen, a good 3-point shooter. Now Wired, settling it down, gets the screen from Garcia. Good hedge from Kaiser as Layla Felia deflects it and gets the steal. LaFilia going to her left, looking for a pass. Now out to Camp Schrader. Thought about the three and settles in.
And Maddie Nolan was spotted up in the corner. Cam Schrader just saw her a second too late.
Kaiser, as Garcia again with the aggressive hands, deflecting that ball away from Kaiser.
Garcia's been a huge defensive asset for Cullup's squad tonight.
Her second steal of the night, Nan Garcia. Kaiser leaving Brewer open, and a foul called on Maddie Nolan trying to guard Jada Jansen. And so it'll be Toledo Rocket ball when we come back. 4:17 left in the fourth quarter. Michigan has cut the...
Can your stars for Michigan that have been inconsistent so far today and inefficient really pick it up down the stretch? And Layla Filia has definitely done that in this fourth quarter.
Michigan has made all three of their last field goal attempts, but haven't been able to get a rebound on this defensive end, as that long two is short from Jansen, and Michigan with a chance to bring it within one or tie. As Camp Schrader dribbles it off her foot, and now a 2-on-1. Camp Schrader chooses to sit back, and a nice finish from Goss. Lead back up to 5.
Aggressive defense from Goss. Picks Camp Schrader's pocket.
Michigan unable to trade baskets at this point. They'll need to get a few stops as Kaiser gets the pass down low, and a foul will be called on Garcia. That will be her third. As we still have yet to see, or now we are seeing Lockett come back into the game, as well as Wired.
And this is about that time I'd expect it. 3:40 to go in the game.
So Toledo with both McConowitz in with 4 fouls, Lockett also in with 4 fouls, and then Goss and Garcia both with 3. On the other side, Michigan, Evans with 4 fouls. No one else with more than 2. As Kaiser misses the first. Every free throw crucial going forward. Kaiser misses both, and Garcia with the rebound. Huge points dropped there from the Wolverines, as Toledo trying to extend their 5-point lead. 3:20. And a travel called on Lockett.
And Lockett got the matchup she wanted. They used a little dribble handoff, a screening action there to get the switch with Kaiser onto Lockett, and just a mental error from the Rockets star.
Leah Brown guarded by Goss. Aggressive defense. Toledo's been very good pressuring the ball all night. Kaiser now out to Filia in the corner, and that one rattles around and goes down for the Wolverines. Layla Filia's first 3 of the night, and the lead is down to 2.
And you needed one of these stars for Michigan, one of your big 3 to step up. Layla Filia has done that in this fourth quarter.
Huge possession here. Can Michigan get a stop? They're rotating. Now into the middle. Nolan with good defense. Lockett. Now Goss. Now Wired. Can she make something happen? No foul called, and she throws this out of bounds. And a great possession there on the defensive end for Michigan.
And Theo, championship teams and high-quality teams win these kind of games. They may not be pretty, but they find a way to pull them out in the end, and Layla Filia is doing all she can. 8 points in the fourth quarter for Michigan to pull this one out at home.
Michigan has made 4 of their last 4, as now Evans down low with the left and converts. We're all tied up. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Are you not entertained? Kaiser, Lockett got by her. Now Wired going in, and a foul will be called on Leah Brown, as Wired lowered the shoulder, but Brown a little too aggressive there.
And they'll get her for a block there. Foul called on the floor, though. So Toledo will have to take it out of bounds. They don't say why. They say Wired was not in the act of shooting.
And Wired will indeed pass it in. That's Brown's third. Evans with 4, playing with defense. Evans getting the crunch time minutes here. And gets the block. It looks like that went off Mikonowitz. Referee initially rules it Toledo ball, and the call will be reversed. Wolverine basketball.
And Mikonowitz may have even got away with a travel there, picking up her pivot foot to take a step closer. But we're going to go under the hood for this one.
We will indeed. Haven't had too many reviews to confirm their call. It will be Michigan basketball. 64 all. Michigan with a chance to take a lead that they haven't had in quite some time. Layla Felia now. Back to Brown. Felia open on the back door and converts. Beautiful play drawn up there by Kim Barnes-Arico as Michigan takes their first lead.
Pass away and then a back screen. Gets Layla Felia open on the back door cut. She's been electric in this fourth quarter. Nothing short of box office.
And Michigan loses Goss on the back, and Evans gives Goss the bucket and the foul. Evans, that will be her 5th. And Goss will go to the line with a chance to retake the lead for the Rockets.
And now the big question for Kim Barnes-Arico is, who do you put in? Cameron Williams, Greta Kampschrader, or Elise Stuck? All kind of give you a different option on the floor.
Yeah, will they go small with Kampschrader? Will they go big with Cameron Williams? Or it looks like it will be Jordan Hobbs that comes in.
Hobbs provides some shooting, versatile defensive piece.
As this also icing the shooter here, as Goss has had to wait for Michigan to make that sub. Heady play there by Kim Barnes-Arico, waiting the full 30 seconds that you get after a player fouls out to make sure that Goss has to think about this. And she rolls it in. 1 point lead for the Rockets. 84 seconds left. Crunch time here.
And you want it in no one else's hands but number 5 right now if you're Michigan.
Jordan Hobbs with her first touch. Gets it back out to Leah Brown. Maddie Nolan open for 3. Short on that one, and Garcia with the rebound. Maddie Nolan with her best look of the night. Under 1 minute to go. 20 on the shot clock. Out to Garcia. Michigan needing a stop here. Lead is 1 for the Rockets. Double team here, and a timeout called there from Wired veteran play, as she was in the worst spot on the floor. 45 seconds left in this battle. Toledo held that lead consistently. Points for the Wolverines to lead the team in scoring. Wolverines as a team have made 6 of their last 7 field goals, as Toledo will inbound it. 12 on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. Wired gets it, guarded by Brown. Garcia coming up to set the screen. Wired gets by 1. Now Kampschrader rotates over to Mikonowitz, and her shot is off the side of the backboard. A shot clock violation on the Rockets. Back to the Wolverines, down 1.
And that's a key difference there, because the shot clock was violated. That offensive rebound that would have gone to Lockett does not count. Shot clock sounded, so that's an automatic turnover. Wolverines take over possession. Got to be able to hit that can get you a bucket late in the game. And for the Wolverines, it appears to be Layla Felia. For Toledo, is it Lockett? Is it Wired, your senior point guard? And we'll find out.
This game giving shades of the Baylor game that the Wolverines had to gut out after being down big late. Now Brown goes over Goss and rolls it in. Leah Brown gives Michigan the lead with 20.3 seconds left. Back and forth we go. Michigan now with a 1 point lead.
And talk about having confidence in your 5th-year senior, your captain on this team, in Leah Brown. Hasn't been efficient so far tonight, but you know what? Kim Barnes-Arico calls her number again. Just a nice little pull-up J, fade away, over the top of the defender, splash.
Yeah, Goss with good defense there But again, Brown has the ability to make those shots. She hasn't for the majority of this game. But big players make shots in big-time moments. And that
Either wired in a pick and roll with Garcia or just an ISO for Quenisha Lockett.
it's worth mentioning that Michigan is at 14 fouls, so the next foul will put Toledo in the bonus, meaning that Michigan does not have any fouls to give. As this pass goes into McConowitz, that was an interesting pass by Wired, as Michigan had a couple defenders in the area, and he will go back under the hook. We will stay on this side of the court. Toledo ball, 16.9 seconds left. Into McConowitz. McConowitz goes with the drive and the right hand. It's good. Just an isolation play for one of your best players, and McConowitz gets the job done this time.
This is the kind of moment that she has that killer instinct, that dog in her. But Layla Feely has been electric for you in this fourth quarter as well, so I think it's going to be one of those two.
Ball into Layla Feely, back to Brown quickly, now into Kaiser, down low. Now Brown, turnaround jump shot, short, McConowitz board. No foul called yet, and now a foul called with 3.1 on the shot clock, on the game clock. And McConowitz comes away with the ball. Michigan in shock at how a foul wasn't called on Brown's jumper. A good look from Leah Brown, similar to the play that they drew up last time. But Brown a little too short on this, as we see here the scrum. Michigan trying to get a tie-up because the possession was actually in their favor. So they could have been angry about that call as well. But foul is called, 3 seconds.
And 3 seconds is still enough time. Michigan with no timeouts, still enough time to get the ball down the floor.
Again, interesting to see what McConowitz does if she makes this. She does indeed.
And you can already see Maddie Nolan leaking out to spot up.
No timeouts being communicated here. If McConowitz misses this, Michigan will have to. She makes it, so Michigan will get to inbound it, but no timeouts.
And you want to get
applying full court pressure.
You want to get somebody going down the floor with the ball.
They get it to Felia, catches it at the half court, has a good look at it, gets deflected, it's short, and that's ball game. The Toledo Rockets come into this one and take it from the 14th ranked, undefeated, no longer Wolverines, 71-68.
Just an all-around gritty performance.